What's up guys, AJ Mida here. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how much real estate agents actually make. So according to salary.com, as of October 31st, 2019, the average agent makes $42,000 per year. Now, that's gonna be a little bit different depending on a lot of factors. Some factors might include what state you live in, what city you live in. Obviously, because if you live in California, say on the coast where the average sales price could be $1 million in some cities, well, obviously you can make a lot more money there because the average commission is going to be higher versus say maybe a small town in Michigan where the average sale price is only $100,000. Because on $1 million property, say at a 3% commission, you're gonna earn on average $30,000 per deal. Whereas in Michigan, on a $100,000 home, you might only earn $3,000. So you need to sell 10 houses to equal one house somewhere in California. Another factor is going to be, for example, if you're a new agent, how many people do you know where you live? If you have a big sphere of influence, well, you might be able to get started a little bit faster and build your career up to where you're making a lot more than that faster than somebody who just moved to a new market. I was brand new to North Carolina when I got started in real estate, and that was the case. My first year was really a struggle, but by the second year, once I figured everything out, I made well over $100,000 in that second year. Another factor, of course, is going to be, are you part-time or full-time? Obviously, if you have full-time to work on your real estate business, well then you're gonna make more money than a part-time agent. Some other factors might include your skill level. How much are you actually working on your skills? It's just like anything else. The better you get at being a real estate agent, the more money you're going to make. Now this one you actually have the most control over, like how good are you at being a real estate agent? So for example, if you're a teacher or a nurse or a firefighter, well typically you get paid for how long you've been in that position, right? Whereas in sales, you get paid directly to the amount that you can produce or the amount that you can sell. So what you put in is what you get out. So the more that you're working on yourself, the more you're investing in yourself, the better off you're going to be. That's gonna cause your income to be a lot higher. That's why in my second year as an agent, I was able to make well over $100,000. So some things that you can be doing to really improve this is watching great YouTube videos, but also taking action. Don't spend all your time watching YouTube videos and listening to podcasts, because otherwise you're not going to do any income producing activities. So it's watch, take action, listen, take action. Another thing that you could do is hire a coach. There's some great coaches out there, and there's a lot more coaches that probably are not worth what you're paying them. So be careful on who you decide to hire as a coach. Going to conferences. This is another way to invest back in yourself and to improve your skill set. I love conferences. I think conferences are one of the most important things you can do because you're gonna get that energy when you're there. You're gonna get that inspiration, that motivation. You're gonna really get a great belief that you can be successful because you see so many other people having success as well as real estate agents. So I highly, highly recommend that. And another factor also could be, what brokerage are you with? And I just did a video on this, which I'll put a link up in one of the sides of this video to it, on how to choose your brokerage. If that brokerage has great training, good systems, great tools, and you're surrounding yourself and you're being taught by some top producing agents, your career's just gonna skyrocket. As opposed to, imagine being in maybe a small boutique firm where there's only 10 other agents and everyone's just kind of, you know, not making good use of their time, maybe dilly-dallying all day and not just not being productive, not being like full of energy, full of passion, full of excitement. You're not going to do as well in that environment, right? You wanna be around people who are doing a lot. And that's why I've created different Facebook groups and different coaching programs and things like that so that agents can get plugged in and surround themselves with others who are doing big things. That was so important for me. Another thing that you can do to take your career and your income to the next level is get into mastermind groups, get into accountability groups. You can get script partners, so like role play partners, so you're role playing back and forth. This is essential and this is all free. You don't have to spend money. I highly recommend spending money to invest in yourself. I think that's the best ROI you're ever going to get. But if you're absolutely dead broke and you can't do that, I get it. So get in these Facebook groups online, and just as a side note, my link to my Facebook group where you can find these types of people will be in the description as well. But get in these groups and just network with others. Find different role play partners, find different accountability partners, mastermind groups. You can form these and it's really gonna take your business to the next level. That's what I did when I got started as a real estate agent, and my production went through the roof. One of the other factors that I mentioned was where you live. if you're in a position to be able to live somewhere else, that's a really good option as a real estate agent. It's so funny because I see other people that work for maybe corporate America, they get relocated all the time, and that's normal. But what if you as a real estate agent said, hey, I'm gonna move myself for a pay raise, as opposed to having a corporate job where they're making you move, making you uproot your life, whether you like it or not. And most of the time, I would imagine, I've never worked for corporate America, you don't even get a pay raise just because you're moving. Why would they give you a pay raise just because you're moving? So I think it would be so cool as a real estate agent if you actually moved markets, whether it's the city over or maybe even a different state that you always wanted to live in. That's giving yourself a pay raise. I mean, just think about it. If your average commission is only $3,000 per deal and you went to a market where your average commission was now say $20,000, you're either going to make way more money in the same amount of time, or you're going to be able to work less. That's a pretty cool thing, guys. And if you're thinking to yourself, I don't know anyone where I live, I just never did a good job being social, or I don't have a lot of family, or I did just move to a new area because of my spouse's relocation package that happened with their work, and you happen to find yourself in a new area just wanting to get into real estate or start your real estate business in that new market. Well, then there's other things that you can do, and you can definitely control this. Just like me, I didn't know anybody when I moved to North Carolina. My wife and I just thought it would be a great place to live. I had no plans to even get my real estate license when I moved there. So what I had to do is I had to figure out, what do I need to focus on that can be predictable, that I can repeat, and that I can duplicate? And I wanted to know exactly, because I used to have a painting company to where, say, if I knocked down this many doors or passed out this many flyers or put up this many signs, things like that, I would get this many leads, which would turn into this many estimates, which would turn into this many booked jobs. I learned that all in college, which was so cool and valuable experience. And I was trying to figure out, like, what are those metrics for real estate agents? And I, quite frankly, could not find that in my local office. Most people were just like, well, network, reach out to your sphere. And I was thinking, well, shoot, I mean, networking, yeah, I guess I can do that if that's what I have to do. I don't really want to do that. That's just not me, but I'll do it. But if I go to 3 networking events per week, how many closings am I going to get? Like, this is how my mind thinks. And nobody could give me those answers, because most people did build their business just kind of by happenstance, by their sphere, and just by keeping their head down and working, and things happened, which is great for them. However, I can't teach that to somebody else, and they can't teach me what they did, because it was based on their unique ability and what they were able to accomplish. Whereas when I found my niche, which ended up being expired listings for sale by owners, circle prospecting, just really generating listings, because I discovered that's the best way to do business, that I had a focus, and I knew the numbers. So I had the numbers that I could shoot for. So I had an idea of what I could expect, but then I was also able to track my own numbers and get the real numbers. So I knew that if I made this many contacts, I would book this many appointments, go on this many listings, get this many listings, and close this many listings, which was so cool. And it's empowering when you know that the activity that you're doing is going to pay off no matter what, as long as you don't quit. And it's encouraging to know when you're prospecting, asking for referrals, whatever it is that you're doing that's income producing, that's lead generating, that's prospecting, for example, that each contact, this is each person that you speak to about real estate, I was able to determine that it was worth $85 a person that I spoke to about real estate. Whether they said no, whether they said yes, averaged out, it was about $85 a person. So it's math. If you want to give yourself a raise, you got to talk to more people. If you want an extra $850 a week, well, you quickly discover you got to talk to an extra 10 people a week. So pretty cool how you can figure that out, right? I know you might be thinking to yourself, like, I just don't get it. Like, why is the average real estate agent only making $42,000 a year? I watch HGTV. It seems like it's easy, and I just don't understand, like, why aren't they making more money? Each commission on HGTV is $10,000 or whatever it is. Well, it does look easy, but honestly, it's not. However, if you have the work ethic, if you have the willingness to learn and the willingness to just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to figure this out. I'm not going to quit. I'm going to show up every single day and be consistent. Then the income opportunity, I mean, the ceiling is just so high on it. There's no reason why you couldn't be making multiple 6 figures per year as an agent and really providing an amazing life for you and your family. The reason why most agents don't do that is because they don't do the things I'm talking about. They don't get the accountability partners. they don't get the mastermind partners, they don't go to the conferences, they don't reach out for help, they don't get a coach to hold them accountable, to show them what works and what doesn't. They just stay in their own little world, or maybe they join a brokerage that becomes this little bubble and everyone there makes around $40,000 a year. You are who you surround yourself with, and if you're in an environment, and this doesn't apply just to real estate, guys, this is for everybody. If you're in an environment where all your friends are only earning $40,000 a year, well, that's what you're gonna earn around. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. That's a fact. It's not a thing where you wanna, leave your friends behind and be like, oh wow, geez, well, I gotta find everyone that makes 200 grand a year so I can be like that. I'm not saying that. It is though being purposeful about how you spend your time. And by going to conferences, by networking through Facebook to find these mastermind partners, you're naturally gonna find people who are making more money than you are. And you're gonna find that these people are people that you really relate to, that are really excited about life, that are encouraging your dreams. Have you ever had a friend when you shared with them your dreams about real estate, of what you want to do, how much money you want to make, that they maybe put you down? Or maybe you were even too afraid to even tell them because you're afraid of what they might think. Well, that's why it's important to be reaching out and networking with these types of people, guys, because these types of people are gonna lift you up and not pull you down. It's great to keep your old friends, but just think about how you're spending your time. Be purposeful. And sometimes it might be a situation where you do need to leave some friends behind because they are bringing you down. They're not a good influence on your life. So just think about these things, kind of take inventory about who are my friends? Who am I spending the most of my time with? How can I be more purposeful about building new relationships? At the end of the day, the most important thing is your happiness, your family. So if you have to cut ties with things that aren't serving you, whether it's people, old habits, watching too much TV, then you gotta cut those ties because you gotta do what's most important. So I just wanna leave you with this. The first mastermind that I formed, we were all making over $100,000 a year. And we grew together and we added more people. And not everyone was earning that much, but they rose to the occasion. And soon we had a mastermind of over 25 people who were, most of them, all making well over $100,000 a year, into the multiple 6 figures a year. And that was a really cool thing. And you can be a part of something like that too. Now it's just crazy to think because most of my friends, most of my sphere, they all make multiple 6 figures. Some make multiple 7 figures, which is crazy to think. I remember as a kid growing up just thinking, wow, gosh, it'd be just so amazing to be able to meet a millionaire and ask them how they became successful. And now you should be making 7 figures a year, because that's what's possible. That's the world we live in today. And when you show up with a good work ethic and you add value to people and you work hard, that's what's possible. And my income just keeps going up and up and up. And it's the natural thing that happens. The more you get out there, the more you try new things, these people just come into your world. And just by having that circle, having that level of accountability, seeing the way they operate, seeing how they live, you're subconsciously just going to rise to that level, which is so cool. So just some takeaways. Make sure that you do everything I'm talking about in this video. So if you're a brand new agent, or maybe you're an agent that just knows that there's another level for you, then watch this video again, go back through it all and write down, take notes on action items that you want to implement today, because I know it's possible for you to smash through that ceiling of the average agent making only $42,000 a year. I've seen it for myself. I see it for so many people that partner with me, that are part of my network, and for everyone that I've coached, and for just my friends and peers in the industry. I know it's possible, and I know it's possible for you. So as always, guys, do me a huge favor, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and there's this little bell right there too. Hit that. That way you're notified when new videos like this come out. And if you have a friend, or if you have someone in real estate that could use this video, please send it to them. And it might be good too when you're looking for role play partners and accountability partners, be like, hey, watch this video. What AJ's talking about is what I also want to implement in my life. Is this something that you're interested in? So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.